Welcome to the wonderful world of Hungry Heath. I am not a classically trained chef. What I am is a self-taught home cook. I have studied under several television chefs. I have a PhD from YouTube University and a black belt from Google Fu. I love to cook. Every Friday night, 6:30 Central, my wife and I host the Friday Night Feast. We cook up some kind of fancy little thing, show y'all how to do it, then sit around and enjoy the time with all of our friends we like to call the Hungry Horde. So I'm gonna need y'all's help on this. My Spanglish ain't all that good. I know just enough Spanish to order in a restaurant and get in a fight. Being from Houston, that's pretty much got me through everything I need. But today, we're going to be making our version of Quesabirria. I know I probably just butchered that. So please, down in the comments, let me know how I should be pronouncing that. We went to a local butcher and bought a leg of goat meat, bone on, and had them slice it for us. And then I threw it in the InstantPot, and now you're going to see what I'm doing with it next. So what I'm going to use is a 2-pound goat leg that the butcher cut into pieces for me. It's still bone in. I think that's going to help flavor the broth while it cooks. I have the box of bone broth. It's about 3/4 of the way full. And I'm just going to empty the whole box onto it. Then that bottle of hot sauce, I'm going to pour a little bit of the bone broth into that bottle of hot sauce to get out the remnants. It's an almost empty bottle. Then I'm just going to flavor it with a little cumin and the Redmond's seasoned salt. Let's get started. I'm going to add that broth to the bottle. I'm going to do just a touch. Because all I want to do is get the remnants that are left in the bottle. Now I'm just going to give it a good shake. And I'll pour this out over the top of the meat in a second. So now, I'm going to add all of that goat straight into the pot. I'm trying to tear this open without getting this stuff everywhere. There we go. Just spread it out to get a little lay in evenly. Now, I'm not going to measure it. I'm just going to do what looks best. I'm going to dust it with this seasoned salt. And I close the lid while I'm dusting it. That's awesome. Alrighty. Now, we'll follow that up with the cumin. Once again, I'm just gonna a heavy dusting of it. Now, that bottle of hot sauce we mixed the broth into, that's gonna be good. Now, the rest of that broth. Oh, this is going to be so good. And now I'm going to take a couple of these and push them down into the broth. Make sure everything is coated.
I don't know if it's actually necessary or not. I'm guessing while it's cooking, it may do that already, but I'm a little OCD about this part. So we're going to put the lid on. Now I'm going to select the meat stew option, but I'm going to run the time up. I want to do it for like 2 hours. And the plan is to let it cook and simmer in this all day long. So when we get back home, or back to the hotel rather, it'll be nice and awesome for us. Come on. I know this is so exciting watching this thing count up. I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, that's close enough. Make sure our dial is turned correctly, and then we go. Perfecto. I'll show when we come back to the hotel this evening. I'll show you what we got. So this has been cooking all day. Let's take a peek. Let go. Ooh, that looks good. Grab my tongs. Let's check it out. Oh, those look good. I just gotta pick through and get all the bones off. And then I'll show y'all what we're gonna do next. So now I got the meat separated from the bones. And we're gonna start building our tacos. And to build those tacos, we're going to be using these Egg Life wraps and this Colby pepper jack cheese. Let's get to building.
So, to build our Quesabirria, I'm going to start by heating up my Egg Life tortillas. I'm just putting it in there. Usually it takes about 30 seconds. Once it's heated on this side, when I flip it over, I'm going to put some cheese and then the meat and then fold it over, kind of like making, hot sauce, kind of like making a quesadilla. So here's the hot sauce we're using. It's called Grenade. It is a very jalapeno. It's not real spicy. But it has some good smokiness to it, and I think that'll lend to this dish very well. So there we go. So let me get this. Oops. Put the cheese. And we're gonna make this into a luscious taco here. Oh yeah, that looks good. Then I'm going to pour my little hot sauce. There we go. And go in here. I'm just going to kind of push that down. And it's okay if these are juicy and greasy. This is going to be a messy dinner. You know, your hands are going to get greasy.
It's going to be finger food.
Right. I'm just pushing that cheese in there. I'm going to give it a few more seconds on this side, then I'll flip to the other side. So you kind of like it with like crispy-ish tacos. And that one bit of meat. Just push that back in there. For the next one. And it's okay if you get a little brown or crispy around the edges, because that's the point, is it's kind of like if you ever had the fresh crisp corn tortillas, how they'd be a little wet but then crispy, that's what you're going for here. And with the egg life, we'll get it as crispy as we can. So let's see. I think that one's good. Then you take it out, put it on our plate. So there's our taco up. Now as it sits here for a couple minutes, it should firm up a little bit. These egg lives are a little new for us to see because they don't really get crispy, I would say, right?
When I cooked the one at lunch, I forgot about it when I put it on the grill, and it got really crispy, almost too crispy, honestly.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to get the egg lives that crispy?
Right. Well, they weren't enjoyable to me. It's just the tortilla on the side. Like if they were folded like this, I think they would have been amazing.
Okay.
So just let mine go a little longer, and we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be dipping it in that sauce, so if it is a little too crunchy, that'll fix it.
Right. Yeah. And we're just going to end up making 6 of these tacos. 3 for each of us.
That's what comes in the package also. When you buy the egg life, they come 6 to a package. So that makes it easy. They're like the perfect for her and I.
Yeah, because that ends up being the right amount for both of us. Wow, babe, this looks good.
It does. Ever since you told me about this, I've been dying to try it.
So I read it on something, TikTok or something, where it's basically crispy tacos and you dip it in a broth. And sorry, I was thirsty. So we stewed the meat, the goat meat all day, and this is the broth that we're using. We did reduce the broth a little bit to get it more concentrated, and then you're supposed to just dunk your taco in it.
I'm impressed.
Yeah? Tacos could be crispier though.
There's very few tacos that I've had that I did not like. This is amazing.
Right?
We're still learning how to cook with these egg life wraps and find that sweet spot where they're just perfect without being ruined. It's a huge learning curve.
Ooh.
But I'm pretty much impressed with them. I mean, we ordered a big batch of them.
Yeah.
Because they just now started selling online. So that made me happy. But this is awesome. I'm digging this.
That's a really good idea. I remember I used to go to taco trucks. Then I'd get barbacoa, and it would just be so juicy that you know, they would double up the corn tortillas, and they would just still go through. So you had to eat them quick. And I mean, this is kind of similar because you take the goat meat, which if you've not tried goat meat, check a local butcher, see if they have it, a farm, or even if there is a Mexican or Spanish market near you. That's where we got this.
Yeah.
There was a Mexican market near us, and they happened to have goat. If you could do that, goat taste. I mean, I can't tell really much of a difference between it and beef.
Me either.
Especially if you do it this way in the Instant Pot and let it simmer all day with some cumin and seasoned salt. You know, it's a red meat. It's very good. It's not gamey at all.
Right. The texture, honestly, to me is kind of like a blend between pork and beef.
Yeah,
Like
it
a
is.
mouthfeel is what it reminds me of.
Right, because it's a little fattier
Yeah.
than a typical like roast if you did a beef roast. But it's really good. So like, shout out Renee. Open up and try some goat. Believe me, I think you'd like it. Go find a local farm so that you know they're pasture raised, because there's a farm up here by us, and you can actually go and visit the goats, pet them and everything. Yeah. They usually sell goat meat, but right now, because of COVID, they're not able to, the processors around here aren't processing goat meat right now, just cow and pig, so they can't do it, so they're just selling the live goats for now, which I'm not going to go through all that.
I ain't that country.
I've got enough animals. I don't need a goat too. Of course they are adorable,
If she
right?
brought it home live, she'd bond with it, and we'd never be able to eat it.
Right, like Rachel. But if I had like a big property, if we weren't like in a subdivision, I would totally own a few goats. They're adorable and tasty.
Yeah. This is amazing.
And then I like with this is dipping it in that broth really gives, because the broth has a good amount of fat in it, and it helps lend that juicy fatness to the taco. Oh yeah, just dunk it in there. And then the salsa we used gives it just a little bit of that smoky heat, because I wanted something kind of a smoky heat.
Yeah.
What do you think, babe?
Awesome. Only critique I have is we should have cooked the tortilla a little bit longer because it's kind of flimsy, but I mean, it tastes good. It just would be a little bit better, probably a little more authentic if it was crunchier.
Yeah.
But, you know, we can't have corn anymore, so this is the next best thing I could do.
Well, we could do a cheese.
Yeah,
like
that's
a
true.
folio or something.
Yeah.
But
We already had these.
well, that, and I'm trying to lower my dairy, so I don't want
Right.
tons of cheese.
We're really big on using what we got on hand, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I love to do, is just go through the fridge and go through the pantry and see what we have on stock, and we'll just figure out a meal from there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but thank y'all for watching, and don't forget, every Friday night, 6:30 Central, we do the Friday Night Feast. We'll cook up something like this, sit around and just chew the fat with all of our friends, the Hungry Horde. Now do me a favor, make sure you click on that subscribe button, smash that thumbs up, and leave me a comment. Let me know if I'm even pronouncing this correctly. Quesabirria? Is that saying it right? Not at all.
Probably not.
But y'all hook me up. Let me know. Teach me some Spanglish, please. Thanks for watching. I'm going to keep stuffing my face.
Me too. Bye.